is a gene which is present. If these two genes are present very close to each other, that is they cannot be separated, or in other words, if the genes are present close to each other on the same chromosome, they are inherited together, that is we cannot separate them. These are called as linked genes. Okay. And we saw this taking the example of Drosophila, that is the body color and the wing. So we saw that two body colors we took it, that is the grey and the black. The black one was the recessive. Similarly, vestigial wing and the normal wing. Vestigial we represented as Vg plus. Then we spoke like what is an unlinked gene? What do you mean by unlinked gene? So unlinked gene means same thing, like we will take an example again. If this is a gene, okay, there is another gene here, or if this is a chromosome, this is another pair of chromosome, one gene is here and another gene is here. So in this condition, when the genes are found on different chromosome or far apart from the same chromosome, here different chromosome, here far apart on the same chromosome, they can assort independently and they are said to be unlinked genes. Linked genes cannot assort independently, that will they will go hand in hand. Here what happens, they are far apart from each other on the same chromosome, or they are lying on the different chromosome. So here what happens, they can get assorted independently. Okay, that is about the linked and unlinked gene. So during unlinked genes what happens, we will get a new combination. We will see here, unlinked gene, here we have put two genes on the different chromosome. Here what happened, I got the same parental trait here also and here parental trait, but you see that I got another different trait. Okay, this is because of the crossing over or because of recombination. Okay, this and this has combined and this has combined. So I got a new product which is completely different from that of the parent. That is called as the unlinked genes, whereas you can see about the linked genes. So in linked genes what happened, Morgan found that 47 to 43% was similar to the parent, that is they telling that they are linked, they cannot be separated. Okay, these traits cannot be separated, but a small amount what he found was that it was completely new, telling that this linked gene can become unlinked during crossing over. When does crossing over occur? Crossing over occurs during meiosis. So today we hopefully this is clear. So this is just a rewrap of what we spoke in last class, and then we spoke about cis and trans also. I told you this is an important question. Then today we will speak about genetic recombination. What do you mean by genetic recombination? We will take this example. If you see the PPT, you will see that this is a chromosome, a pair of chromosome, and here we have a gene A and gene B and another small a and small b. Now what is we mean by this recombinant type? So here's the definition, these are produced when a crossover occurs between the two genes. Okay. So I have here two genes, and what is happening here, we have seen the symbol that is represent, that is crossovering is occurring, that is a swapping is occurring between the two genes. So what happens when there is crossover, you can see that this A has swapped to this A, this dominant A, and the dominant A has come to the other end of the chromosome. So this swapping, okay, which is resulting in a completely different type of combinant, it is called as recombination. Whereas this has remained same, because here swapping hasn't occurred, here crossing over hasn't occurred, so this will remain the same. Here we will see another example. You see here crossing over has occurred here, but there is no genes at all present in this area. Okay. So this has resulted in non-recombinant type. So we'll take few more example what we actually mean by crossing over. So exactly if you look into the two words crossing over and recombination, they are different. Okay, I'll show you why it is so. Okay, so here what has happened, we have taken two chromosome, the exchange of chromosomal segment between non-sister chromatids. I'll explain you all what is this first. Okay, this will come for your PGCET also. See, now if I am drawing a chromosome, this is a chromosome, this is one chromosome. This chromosome can undergo what is known as replication. Okay, this will undergo what is called as replication. After replication, how this will appear? This will appear like this. Okay, sorry, this is the centromere. This is how this one chromosome has replicated, and now it will become like this. So here what happens? This and this, what you call it as a sister chromatids. These are called as sister chromatids. Okay, this is called as sister chromatid, M-A-T-I-D. So what is the sister chromatids means? They are identical to each other, same. So this is the same allele, you can tell. These are same alleles. When a chromosome has undergone replication, this is how they appear. They carry the same alleles, and this portions, okay, this and this and this are called as chromatids. Since they are of same, they are called as sister chromatids. So now what happens? This replicated chromosomes are still attached to what? They are attached to their centromere. So now we will look into another phenomena. What are non-sister chromatids? So for non-sister chromatids, I will take a chromosome. Again, this chromosome is attached with a centromere. I will take another chromosome. So what are these two chromosomes? These two chromosomes are called as homologous chromosome. Okay, these are homologous chromosome. There I took only one chromosome. Here I am taking a pair of chromosome, homologous chromosome. Now this also undergoes what is called as replication. This undergoes replication. Now what happens? Okay, so I will get one chromosome with this part as replicated. Now even this should replicate. Okay, so this also we will replicate. So okay, this also is replicated, and this is the centromere. Hope you can differentiate the first picture and the second what I have drawn. So here what happens? These are called as pair of alleles. Okay, and they are different because they are different chromosomes. By the color itself I have shown you like it is different. Okay, and now this one and this one are called as non-sister chromatids. Non-sister, they are not sisters. Okay, they are called as non-sister chromatids. Hope it is clear now. Non-sister chromatids. Okay, if this and this if I speak, they are sister chromatids, but this and this if I speak, they are non-sister chromatids. So just keep this in the mind. So here what? Now you can come to a conclusion. This is what her homologous chromosome. Okay, one is blue color, one is red in color, just for the sake of differentiation. Now what has happened here? See, they have crossed over with each other. Okay, this is called as crossing over, this point. Okay, you should not confuse with the centromere. You are studying about that all in cell biology. Okay, so this point where they have crossed over, it is called as a centromere. Now what happens is swapping of that gene occurs, like what happened, or that part of the chromosome has occurred. Now see, this part has gone into the blue region, okay. So you've got a red and here blue, and here also crossing over occurred. So here what happened, the blue has got exchanged with the red, okay. This phenomena is called as a crossing over. And now after crossing over, whatever the products I get, okay, see here also that crossing over has occurred, okay. Once that crossing over has occurred, this phenomena is called as crossing over. But then whatever the product I have got, that is called as recombinant. That is, you can see here the definition what I have written. Crossing over ensures a combination of maternal and paternal genes we inherit. What type of maternal genes I have got, what type of paternal genes I have got is indicated by crossing over. What does a recombinant tell? Okay. So when does this crossing over and recombination occurs? It occurs during the meiosis. Okay. So what does meiosis tells us? In meiosis I have got the product, that is my offspring, my progeny. So here what has happened, it tells about the genetic diversity. Now whatever the recombinant I have got, it is not same as the parent. So I look different from my parent. So now what happens, like each time such type of variation occurs, it leads to genetic diversity. We are moving away from a particular race or community and we are forming a different community, like that is called as recombination. So you will look at this, what you have is linkage and crossing over, okay. So what usually happens is, chiasmata is the point where two homologous non-sister chromatids exchange. I'll draw the picture and show you all. Okay, here it is. Okay. So here what happens, just imagine one is your maternal chromosome, one is your paternal chromosome. During the prophase of meiosis, what is happening is this paternal and maternal chromosome, they come close to each other. So this is what chromatids, they are the sister chromatids, but this and this is what non-sister chromatids. So your paternal and maternal chromosome has come close to each other and they are paired. This phenomena, the homologous pair, when they pair with each other, this phenomena is called as synapsis, okay. This is called as synapsis. When the paternal and maternal chromosome during your meiosis in the prophase, when they come closer to each other, that is, we will use a word called pairing. When they pair with each other, that phenomena is known as synapsis. So now what happens is, come to here, the next what happens, once they are paired, they form what are called as crossing over, okay. See here, they have crossed over, and this crossing over, where exactly this point occurs, see this is your centromere, don't confuse with your centromere, where they have crossed over, this is called as chiasma, okay. CHAIASMA, okay. This is called as a chiasma. At that time what happens is, in between these two chromosomes, you will get a complex which is formed, okay. Such type of, like a rail track, it will appear, okay. This complex is known as synaptomal complex, okay. Why it is called? Because this phenomena is called as synapsis. They are paired together, they are called as synapsis. And what is actually bringing your chiasma formation? What is bringing your crossing over? It is brought about by this complex of protein called as synaptomal complex. Here it is, I have written here, I think so. Okay. Chiasmata is the point where two homologous non-sister chromatids exchange the genetic material during the crossing over. So you just have to go back. What is non-sister chromatids means? I have taken two different chromosomes. I showed you the picture, blue and red color, that crossing over, okay. That is called as a non-sister chromosome. So there is crossing over between these genes, okay. So where exactly the crossing over occurs? that is by the where the formation of the chiasma. So, the chiasma becomes visible during when? During the diplotin. You will be studying different types of meiosis, okay, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, again their classification in detail in cell biology. So, chiasma becomes visible during the diplotin stage of prophase 1, but actual crossing over occurs during the previous Pachytene stage when each tetrad, which is composed of two pairs of sister chromatids, begin to split. So, what it means to tell tetrads means, see, this is a tetrad. So, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So, this is called as tetrads. Okay. Just here you will remember how this crossing over is occurring. So, it is just remember it occurs during the meiosis, okay, in the prophase 1. So, we have the synaptomal complex being formed. What is the use of the synaptomal complex? Means it is a protein, it appears like a ladder like. So, here what happens, it appears in between these two pair chromosome, non-sister chromosome, and this is what enhances the formation of crossing over or the chiasma formation. Once the crossing over has occurred, that is the breakage and crossing over has occurred, you will end up in such type. Okay. So, you can see that what has occurred, a swapping of a portion of that chromosome has occurred. So, you can see this is the yellow portion and this is the blue one. So, a reunion or exchange of the chromosome has occurred. This is called as crossing over. So, there are different types of crossing over. Okay. So, hopefully you have understand these are called as chromatids. Since there are 4 chromatids, they are called as tetrads. This is a sister chromatid, whereas this and this is a non-sister chromatids, and recombination is occurring between the non-sister chromatids. And what is bringing about this crossing over is, it is brought by the synaptomal complex, and when the crossing over is occurring, it becomes visible during the diplotin, and that portion is called as the chiasma. So, there are different types of crossing over can occur. Okay, this is called as double crossing over because here there is a crossing over and here also there is a crossing over, hence it is called as a double crossing over. So, just we will see that what is the importance of linkage and crossing over, what exactly we mean by linkage and what we mean by crossing over. So, linkage means it is a tendency of the DNA sequences that are close together on a chromosome to be inherited together during the meiosis phase of sexual reproduction. Some call it as meiosis, some say it is as meiosis, so not a problem. So, this is what I told, okay, if they are present on the same chromosome, you see the distance between the genes is so tiny, so small that they cannot be separated. So, this is called as linkage. What do we mean by crossover? Exchange of genes between the two chromosomes, okay, resulting in non-identical chromatids that comprises of the genetic material of gametes. That is, okay, like this, these two, and the crossovering is occurring between this and this. Okay, I should have drawn another pair also here like this. Okay, so this and this, the swapping occurring between this, not only this position, any position here and here. Okay, that is called as crossing over. So, linkage, what it does, it ensures that the genes in the chromosomes are inherited together. That is, whatever is your parental trait, that will come to your offspring, okay, because they have not been separated. What about your crossing over? Ensures the separation of the genes on the chromosome to segregate into different chromosomes. So, they are getting segregated in the crossover, they are not carried together. So, here distance between the two genes is inversely proportional, okay, but here they are directly proportional, hence because they are directly proportional only, then they can swap over each other or they can cross over each other. So it maintains the parental trait in the offspring. It causes the change in the parental trait. We will not get the same trait what is present in the parent when there is a crossover. So this linkage, what happens as there is aging, it decreases, but here crossing over increases as we age. So it reduces the chance to reproduce, to produce variation in the offspring. Why? Because you can see that the two genes are linked, and whatever it is present together, it is just getting inherited into me, from my parent to me. So I don't have any change, okay. But when there is a crossing over, what happens? Two genes are getting swapped between the two different non-sister chromosomes. So what happens? I am getting a recombinant which is exactly different from my parent. So what happens? My genes are shuffled here. So this you can see, this is the difference between the linkage and crossing over. Just quickly go through the slide. So when you are answering this question, just writing the definition will not fetch you the full marks. You have to represent it in the form of the figures or the diagrams. So linkage, what? It does not follow the law of independent assortment. But remember, crossing over follows the law of independent assortment. This is an important point you have to remember. Okay, so it is done. I'll just move to the different slide. Coming to our last slide, we can see this cat, and most of you have observed this cat. This cat is known as the calico cat. Okay, this cat is known as calico. This cat is known as the calico, C-A-L-I-C-O. Okay, calico cat. One point you have to remember is, always remember whenever this calico comes into your mind, okay, calico cat are always female cat. Okay, this type of cat is always female. Most of you have observed this type of cat. Okay, you can see this cat is a combination of, its fur is orange and black, and some you have white. We will take this example of this cat and study about why this cat is called as the calico cat and what is the importance of this cat is. Now the calico cat, you can see that this is the calico one. Okay, its fur is black and orange. Always a calico cat is a female cat. Then what about its male partner? See, the male cat is either it will be orange or it will be black. Why is this? Because the gene for the color is present on the X chromosome. Remember, X chromosome is just not linked with the sex chromosome. It is also linked with the somatic trait. That is what we studied when we spoke about the X-linked genes. Okay, we told that it is just not involved in the sex determining the sex. Actual determination of the sex, you can see that it is done by the Y, but some female traits are present on the X chromosomes, and also it carries traits for somatic trait. That is, we told that the color blindnesses or whatever hemophilia, that is all present on the X chromosome. They do not play a role in the sex. They are the somatic trait present on the X chromosome. So we females have 2 X chromosome, but the male have only 1 X chromosome and 1 Y chromosome. So here what is happening, the dosage composition, the dose of X chromosome is more in female and less in male. This should not happen, okay. So the nature, what it will do is, it will see to that one of your X chromosome always in the female remains inactivated. That is what we will be studying in the next class. So we will first look into the calico cat as an example and see how the nature has inactivated one of our X chromosome, so that our composition, the dosage composition between the male and the female is same, it is balanced, there is nothing called imbalance, okay. That we will see in the next class. So you see that the color of the fur is present on X, everywhere you see it is present on the X. So here what happened, male carry only one X chromosome, either they will carry a trait for the orange color or they are carrying the trait for the black color. So if they are carrying the trait for the orange, that cat will be an orange cat. If it is carrying the black, then it is black, okay. You may come telling that there are other different colors also, but we are taking only the example of this calico cat, okay. So what about in female? In female, the color can be of three types. Either it can be a black color, it can be orange color, or it can be a calico, okay. That is a mosaic color of black and orange. So why is this so? You can see here in the X chromosome what is being carried, it is the trait for the black color, the fur color should be black, okay. So the cat is black, though it is a female. If both are carrying what, orange, then you see that the cat is orange in color, it is a female because it is carrying X and X. Here what, one of the X chromosome is carrying B and one of the X chromosome is carrying small b, that is black. So here what is happening, both are getting expressed. So whenever both are getting expressed, this is a female cat, X and X. But where is the trait present? The trait of the fur color is a somatic trait present on the X chromosome. So all my body, wherever there is somatic cell, okay, wherever there is this color being expressed, for example this black is being expressed, then wherever that X is present in my body, for example here it is present, here it is present, okay. So there and all the fur color will become black. But if it is the orange one which is expressed throughout my body, wherever it is present, then this is what is expressed. So what happens in this cat? One of your X chromosome is got on and another is got off, okay, it is got off here. But here you see the black color has got off, but the orange color has got on, okay. Hence this cat can give you either an orange appearance or the black appearance. This is the mosaic trait of this cat, and hence this fellow is always a female cat. And then you will see that, see here orange color is being expressed, okay. So here what happens, it is the orange one, where is it? Okay, see I put this XB, so it is the X capital B is which is being expressed, okay. So here small b, so here it is X small b, it is expressed. Then what about white? White, it is neither expressing the orange nor it is expressing the black, hence you get a white. So taking this calico cat as an example, we will study about the this gene composition will be studying, or dosage composition, not gene composition, it is called as dosage composition, okay. We will see that how there is, when there is 2x in female and 1x in Y, how the nature has seen to that we are balanced, both male and female are balanced. That, for example, we took an example of the calico